Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, The Lost Chevalier, and you're welcome back to Second Circle. Let's continue now with Beelzebub. Date. The last date that they have in the game. So this is the final episode, for now at least. Let us put this thing on full screen. Shortly after you and Lucifer return home from dinner, you make your excuses and retire to your room for the night. Everything seems secure in this end, at least for now. We have wards. Oh my god. We got wards up to defend ourselves in the event of an assault, and everyone's getting along well again. I don't want to leave the house, but I do have some information I need to give to Beelzebub. Is it worth the risk? Of course it is. Travel to the beast. Reaching into your closet, you pull out your old all-purpose ritual carpet. With a swing of your arms, you spread it up on the floor of your floor. The white pentagram adorning the center, shining bright despite the dust covering the textile. A few mothballs tumble across the room, shaken loose from their resting place by your enthusiastic brandishment. You step into the center of the pentagram and pause, searching your memory for the steps required to open your own portal to the beast. Let's see if I still remember how to do this. The movements flow out of you like a familiar dance, the instruction forever burning to your subconscious from the moment you saw them inscribed on the worn stone tablets. Down, up, right step, up, left step, down, 2 steps, left, up. Let them repeat the last 2 steps forwards, backwards. With a silent flare of light, the familiar swinging portal appears in front of you. Without hesitation, you step forwards into the swirling vortex. Jesus Christ! Taking portals created by professionals with centuries of experience has made the gap in skill between them and you even more obvious. As you are hurled backwards and forwards through dimensions, you make a mental note to bring along motion discomfort bags the next time you decide to go reality hopping. Eventually, reality begins to consolidate around you, accompanied by the familiar buzzing of flies that permeates the abyss. You find yourself standing in a large, darkened area. Try as you might, you can't see so much as your hand in front of your face. The only sensation you can track is the slight squishiness of the ground beneath your feet. It feels similar to something you have experienced long ago, but you can't quite remember what it is. A soft hand grips your shoulders, surprising you. As you try to shirk away, it tightens, rotting you in place. A soft voice whispers inches from your ear. It's been a while since your last visit. You sure like to keep a girl waiting, don't you? The grip loosens and you turn around to see Beelzebub standing behind you, glowing softly. The house has been in disarray. I didn't have time to come and see you. Getting the information from Lucy about the beast required more time than I anticipated. However, I think I have managed to get her to open up with me about it. She told me that... Beelzebub reached forward, pressing her fingers on your lips. Her voice is hushed and unusually wary. Hold that thought, we have much that needs our attention. I have been rather busy with renovations as of late, and I bit off a little more than I can chew. We must be careful not to draw them in before we are ready. Them? What are you talking about? Not here, this is too exposed, follow me. Deftly navigating the pitch-black darkness, Beelzebub leads you through her castle by the hand. It might just be your imagination, but you could swear you hear things moving around in the blackness surrounding the two of you. Small sharp things, invisible in the gloom, catch at your legs as you walk past. Unnerved, you pick up the pace. Beelzebub ducks into a small alcove and you follow suit. The two of you huddle, pressed against each other in the tight space. Alright, Belle, what's going on around here? An ominous thought crosses your mind. Have the four lords launching an attack on your realm as well? Beelzebub nods, shaking her head as she begins to explain. I should feel so included. No, as I say, I have been working on some remodeling to the castle proper. Nothing complex, of course, just moving one of the ballrooms up to the 400th floor and adding some bathrooms at regular intervals. You know, that sort of thing. But I have been hearing strange things. I have found rooms smashed into powder, the works of decades destroyed in a matter of minutes. I think my patch job on the wall of the removed rooms must have been sloppy because something got in. It's been rampaging through my castle. Worst of all, I think it's been breeding in here. You're the Queen Crimson. Why does this thing have you hiding with your tail between your legs? Surely you are more than a match for it, or it could have preyed upon you while you were building your castle. Beelzebub cast a glance to one side before answering, presumably scanning the occluded environment with some unknown ability. While I do rank among the strongest of demons, the things that call this place home are probably in a different weight class altogether. Primordial predators, perfected in form since the dawn of time. The void is an endless expanse of pure antediluvian nothingness. I'm amazed it didn't take me longer to run into one. Do you want me to leave? You can always send me back to Earth if whatever is loose in your castle is too much for you to handle. A wicked little smile flashed across Beelzebub's face, and she pressed a little closer to you as she answers. What? And give up my bait? What's your bait? Why, you are, my dear taker. Tell me, if you were a mighty shark crossing the ocean depths, what would you first choose as your meal? A mighty squid, all teeth and beak, mighty in its own right, or a little salmon out of its depths and struggling to survive in the deep? Aw, don't give me that look. You have always been so eager to lend me a helping hand. Besides, it's not like I can risk sending you back right now anyways. Explain, before I go off to try and find a way back on my own. I have reasons to believe magic is a primary food source for this invader. I had Walter crunch some numbers, and the savage rooms have all had an unusually high concentration of magical constructs in them. We theorize it might be drawn to large or natural sources of magic, like animates, geomancies, or extra-planar left travel. So the portal I took here, Beelzebub nods. Accompanied by your fleshy mortal scent, of course, should bring it rushing here post-haste. You cluster guns around the massive room, searching for some gargantuan creature hiding in the dark recesses of the chamber. So, what exactly is my role in all this? What did you expect me to do? Act like prey. Be your appetizing mortal self and lure it in with a show. With a sign, you begin walking around the room as suggestively as possible. Moments into the task, however, you collide with a waist-high, ungilded bit of architecture. Oof! Sorry about that, I forgot you can see in the dark. Here, allow me. A ghostly light flickers into being above you, illuminating your surroundings. Gaunt pillars of rock-hewn stone ring a massive rock-strewn room. Tables and other assorted furniture smashed to pieces by something or other litter the far wall. Squinting at the far walls, you recognize the general layout of the room. This is the same room where we had dinner all those weeks ago. Indeed it is, or rather it was. This room was one of the first casualties of our uninvited guest. So are we just going to wait here for the predator to do to us what he did to this room? Hardly. I'm going to set traps in the indigestion rooms. By the time it makes its way here, it will have gotten its own little taste of what hell's truly capable of. So that's me. You're just going to leave me here? Beelzebub shrugs. Unless you prefer to accompany me in setting the most demonstrably lethal traps in pitch blackness. Well, hurry up back then. Beelzebub nods and set off down the corridor, leaving the pale blue light floating behind to illuminate the former ballroom. You idle a bit of time away, kicking out the rubble that lays the screw across the ground. The stones don't seem to be just subject to the same physics as they do on Earth, gravitated unerringly towards the far side of the room. You amuse yourself for a time, tossing stones at unusual angles and watching them boomerang back towards you in midair. As you wing a particularly sharp rock into the air, the level of light shifts slightly, shadows lengthening on the wall. Distracted, you remember the airborne projectile just in time and throw yourself to the ground as it whistles merrily past you. Frustrated and interrupted, you call out to Beelzebub. "Hey Bell, stop screwing with the light, I almost brained myself with that last rock." No reply comes from Beelzebub. Turning, you observe that she still has yet to return for her sabotaging of nearby rooms. The orb of life, however, is moving across the room, seemingly without anyone controlling it. Tracking its arc, you realize it's followed the same general trajectory as the rocks, drawing inexorably towards the far end of the room. The ball of blue light continues to glide across the room, heading towards one of the twisted pillars that moves. Slowly, you back away at the thing disguising itself as a pillar, stretches and unfolds. Long blank tentacles rake out the air, reciting around a massive worm-like body supported by three huge asymmetrical legs. The creature's skin is covered in jagged, shard-like pieces of stone that grind together with horrid catatony as it moves, like sandpaper being pulled over a chalkboard. Stones roll across the floor. Stone rolls across the floor, drawing into the creature as if a magnet. Even as you watch, the floating light is drawn towards the crown of the creature, which opens like a maw to receive it. Before the light is drawn into its body and extinguished, you catch a glimpse of the creature's mouth, cavernous and ringed with rows upon rows of glittering needle-like teeth. Once more in darkness, you continue to slowly make your way backwards, senses peeled for any sight of Beelzebub. Sounds emerge from the darkness, methodical steps, accompanied by that terrible, ever-present grating noise. Slowly pacing backwards in the darkness, you trod upon a loose piece of rubble, sending you pitching to the ground. With a shriek, the creature ignites in a sinister glow, barreling towards you with preternatural speed. Reaches for your face, a massive hammer of stone swats the creature into the ground. Looking up, you see Beelzebub gesturing with one hand, working whatever magic is keeping the Erdek mallet afloat. She extends her other hand to you, helping you off the ground. "Looks like I got back just in time." You dust yourself off, observing the twisted creature with interest. Beelzebub doesn't seem to share your interest, and tugs at your sleeve to get your attention. "We're to make our escape while it's stunned. We don't know what it's capable of." Looking around, you look at a large shard of basalt. "To hell with that, we got it in the ropes. Now's a good time as any to make sure it can't move after us again." There is a chink in its armor near the head. One good blow and we can say goodbye to our monster problem. Wait. Her protest comes a moment too late. With a Herculean swing, you bring the sharp rock down on the creature's exposed neck. With a crunch, the creature's head falls to the floor, severed neatly from the rest of the body. You pick it up, seeking to confirm your suspicions. "As I thought, this isn't an organic or magical creature, it's just a stone puppet, a golem." "Well, if that's the case, we should make our escape before the puppeteer has a chance to regain control of it." "No need, I'm familiar with these constructs. Most of them are controlled by an inscription etched into its head. Once disconnected from the body, the whole thing becomes relatively harmless. Let's have a look and see what the inscription for this one is. It might give us an idea of who sent it." "I really don't think that's such a good..." "Is something the matter? What do you see?" "This head has Beelzebub incorporated chiseling into it." "Really? Must be the brand name." Yes, I see." "Well, I mean, there might be more of them out there. I'm going to go take a look. Have no fear, I shall return." "You do that, feel free to come back when you have your story straight." Beelzebub hangs her head, but takes off into the darkened corridor, leaving you alone again in the room with only a faint glimmer of light to illuminate the darkness. Hold on, Beelzebub is gone. Why can't I still see a light in here? A little light. A minute mote of light is illuminated the black room, casting the ruined columns into a soft relief. Squinting, you can see the light pouring through a chink in the wall. Picking your way over the rubble, you approach the light source cautiously. Pressing your eye to the wall, you peer through the breach to see a most confusing sight. Illuminated by soft candlelight, Walter the skeleton sits in an obsidian desk, puzzling at a mass of small interlocking parts strewn across it. With a muted crunch, the rest of the wall gives away, causing Walter to look up from his work. Walter, what are you doing here? The old skeleton fidgets uncomfortably, eye sockets darting from wall to wall. Master Taker, I was just engaging in an old hobby of mine, just a little bit of puppetry. Strange, that puppet of yours looks especially like the golem Beelzebub and I just destroyed. What a terrible coincidence! Walter? Yes, good sir? This is a pantomime, isn't it? A setup by Beelzebub to make me stick around in the biz. Walter's shoulders sag. It appears the game is up. I thought as much. Beelzebub was acting far too suspicious for this to be anything else. For someone who claims to be the mother of lies, she's awfully bad at concealing the truth. Please don't judge my lady too harshly, Master Taken. In truth, it was I who suggested we put on display for your amusement. The idea breathed fresh life into my lady, and she set to it at once with vigor I haven't seen in decades. How on earth does she wield a golem that complex? She's not slouch when it comes to construction. But it's barely been a week since the last time I was here. And creating a script on top of that, how does she do it, Walter? As I'm sure you can pick up during the course of your visits, time flows different here, sir. By my estimate, it has been several of your Earth years since last your graced with your presence. Several years? Quite so, sir. But you needn't have any fear about my lady mental state. She's grown quite adept at keeping herself busy over the eons. I do believe she spent the last few months calculating P to see if it really goes on forever. However, whenever she feels you're about to appear, she always gets excited. Seeing her happy like that again pleases me to no end. While this game she's playing may be esoteric, it will do my fantastic heart good to see you humor my lady in her mischievous endeavors. I suppose if we have the time... Excellent! I must hurry to repair the golem. You must not let my lady know of your discovery. Find a way to distract her while I assemble another monster to pursue the two of you. You nod, stepping out of the room. At a small gesture from Walter, Stone rushes in to fill the void in the wall, leaving you again shrouded in darkness. Take her! Take her! Where are you? I'm over here, just resting by this wall. Casting her light once more over the room, Beelzebub joins you in sitting by the wall. I didn't see any sign of more golems, or whoever is controlling them. Did anything unusual happen while I was away? Nothing untoward, but I think we have earned a break regardless. Which reminds me, I had a few unanswered questions about your exile to this plane of darkness. Oh, and what might they be? Lucifer told me that happened before what happened before you were exiled. Her version, I'm sure. Lucy doesn't know everything, though she likes to pretend otherwise. So, you're trying to tell me you weren't planning on taking the throne away from her? No, well, not at first anyways. Is that supposed to reassure me? You were just biding time until you decided whether or not to betray your queen? It's more complicated than that. We fought the 4 Lords of Hell under the assumption that we will make Hell a better place. However, I never fully trusted Lucy. She's always been one to let power go to her head. Real bossy at the worst of times, and just when we emerged victorious, she went and declared herself supreme poop of hell. Throwing some vindication of my fears, and we were dead set on a collision course. Vindication? What did you mean? Beelzebub sides. Following our costly victory, Lucy ordered the former lords cast out of hell and into the mortal world. With no obvious outlets for gaining their stolen power, we thought it would be the last we will see of them. However, just before I threw the slimy demon of greed through the portal, she made a rather compelling argument. Wait. Before you throw me through, won't you at least hear me out? Again, fine, but make it quick. Why should she get all the glory, all the power? You got to be more than a little envious. Ask yourself this. Who would you rather see sitting on the throne a century hence? A totalitarian despot, or an empathetic queen who's willing to adapt to new situations? So that's your angle. You want to sow the seeds of doubt in my mind in hopes of destabilizing Nusi? Oh, enemy mine. I think we both know I'm a little late for the party on that count. Well, I guess this is the time we say goodbye, huh? Think about what I say. If you ever need me, you know where I will be. That's the long and the short of it. Mammon has a way with words, whatever her faults. They burrow into my mind and squander it there, impossible for me to ignore. Inevitably, I was forced to betray Lucifer to quell my own raging conscience. That's not true. You were manipulated by the fox into questioning Lucifer at the wrong time. This is all a misunderstanding between you and Lucifer. Manipulated, betrayed. Even I'm not 100% certain how much of my decisions were fully my own. Beelzebub eyes you up, chewing on her lower lip. Well, is that a good enough confession for you? It's good enough for me. Now comes the time where I fulfill my part of the bargain. I learned something about the beast from Lucy. Beelzebub tugs right over you, squashing your declaration like an upstart caterpillar. Oh, but we have so much more to do. The West Wing needs retexturing, I'd like to repurpose the golem into an art installation, and so much more. Besides, I'm sure your discovery can wait until we have seen to be more immediate issues. I have a list somewhere around here. Wait here while I go get it. Despite your protestation, Beelzebub assumed her visage and boosted off into the black sky, undoubtedly heading for one of the uncountable towers that hover overhead. Stuck on the ground, you kick a piece of rubble, frustrated. A polite cough sounds behind you, and you turn around to see Walter standing there unassumingly. Maintaining unflinching eye-to-eye socket contact, he raises his hand and cocks again. Can I help you with something, Walter? The old skeletal nods soberly. Sir, if you will forgive my lapse in property, I overheard you trying to broach a particular topic of conversation several times with my lady. If I may ask, are you planning to propose marriage to her? The question hits you like a socket punch, knocking you off guard. Your reply comes out jittery and unfocused, thrown by Walter's suggestion. What? No, I just wanted to... Saving you for yourself, Walter smoothly steamrolls over your sputtering, a reproachful tone creeping into his voice. If that is the case, I must advise you to temper your expectations. My lady cares for only one thing, an escape from this prison. Actually, that's exactly what I wanted to talk to her about. I think there might be a way for her to escape. It might even work. I may even work for you as well. Walter slowly turns to face you, eye sockets widening. It might be just your imagination, but perhaps there is a slight tremor in his voice as he gently takes your hand, his voice hushed. You're quite sure? Sir, I must advise you, if you have brought my lady some false hope of spawning to a fairy tale, I'm afraid I might have no choice to remove you from the premises. It's the truth. I got it directly for Lucifer herself. Walter snorts, twin clouds of dust salting out of the slits where his nose used to be. The one who ordered her imprisonment? Hardly a reliable source of information. I think she was telling the truth. She has no reason to believe she will live out the night. What motivation would she have had to lie? An awkward crash heralds the return of Beelzebub in her fly form. The transformation quickly unravels, leaving Beelzebub howling a sack many times her own size slowly over you and to you and Walter. I couldn't find the list, but look at this. Turning the sack upside down, Beelzebub unceremoniously dumped the contents onto the ground. Balls, wickets, hammer, nets, and all sorts of alien game pieces scattered across the ground. I have found all my early designs for the sport of my own invention. Beelzebub. Beelzebub. Just wait, you will love it. First thing you do is... Walter stepped forward, placing a placate hand upon Beelzebub's shoulder. My lady, I'm sure Master Taker would like nothing better to play for more of your games. However, I believe you need to hear what he has to say. I believe he has found some definite information regarding a possible escape from this dimension. Oh, that's all hat. Hell, he will tell me later. Isn't that right, Taker? Bell, why are you avoiding this answer so tenaciously? I'm almost convinced you don't want to hear it. Beelzebub slumped forwards. My lady, you have been searching for a way to escape this place for so long, hoping against hope that there is a flaw in the prison. Hearing what Master Taker has to say will allow you to know if your hopes are warranted. Hope. Hope's all I have had for comfort in my eternity here. What do I do if your information takes that away from me? Enjoy your fleeting visits until you too pass from this world. Maybe it's better to lie to myself and keep searching for a way out of my own. Better an eternity of foolish hope than an eternity of... what? Endless nothing? What if it is good? And what if it's good? My life hasn't been good for eons now. Why should it have cause to change? So what? There is a way to circumvent one of the most powerful pieces of magic ever conceived. Good luck selling me that one. Is that really what you want? To live in fear of the truth? No, you're stronger than that. Stop hiding from the future, Belle. Fine then. Tell me what you have learned. There is a way out of the abyss, according to Lucifer. She say a key will make itself known to you, given the right circumstances. Walter puts a hand on Beelzebub's back. His voice bursts with barely contained excitement. My lady, this is stupendous news. We must renew our efforts to secure your escape. This key must be found if you are to win your freedom. Beelzebub stepped backwards, hugging herself. I'm not sure. The skeleton puts a hand on his mouth, aghast. But my lady, this is what you have dreamed of this millennia past. A chance at freedom, a chance to take revenge on those who wronged you. What could possibly compel you to throw that all away? Even if I were to return, who will welcome me back? I have no reason to believe any of my old friends will accept my companionship once more. Walter placed a bony hand upon Beelzebub's shoulder, his voice like iron. Then you take back what they stole from you, an eternity. Who amongst them could stop you doing whatever your heart desire? I'm more than just a petulant child, Walter. Nothing good grows from the fires my envy will light. Just more pain. Instead of me taking what they hoard, my return will herald me inflict what I suffer. The Crimson Deimos shakes her head sadly. I can't force people to love me, and I must learn to accept my place in the world, as well as the beings that share my horizons. Seeking revenge at this point will just lead to more of the same. If that's why I will escape, then here is where I should remain. Walter steps back, something almost resembling a smile gracing his bony features. He sighs, a sound that speaks of a relief of uncountable millennia. Reaching out, he clasps Beelzebub's hand with his own, his words bundled with joyful pride. Well answered. Congratulations, my lady. Truly you are not the monster we feared you might be. An innocuous sound, made conspicuously only by the absence of others, faintly reverberates throughout the room. Confused, all three of you turn to the source. A single finger bone lays on the ground, slowly crumbling into an ashy powder. Presently, a second falls to join the first. As one, you and Beelzebub look up to Walter. The skeleton has a sheepish, almost apologetic air about him. Even as you watch, the sleeves of his outfit begin to fray, adding quickly to the ground heap of powder on the ground. Oh dear, seems my contract has indeed expired. After all this year, if you will permit me a bit of cheek, my lady, I never thought I'd see the day. Shocked off to her stupor, Beelzebub speaks, her voice catching in her throat. Walter, what's the meaning of this? I command you to stop right now! Pull yourself back together! Her protestations are brought to a halt by Walter, who politely holds up a disintegrated palm. His voice comes out of it slower than usual, and a little quieter. You can tell the effort of speaking is costing him. My lady, I must apologize. For centuries you have been a prisoner, and not once were you introduced to your jailer. I was tasted with tending to your needs if and until you were deemed too fit to re-enter society. It appears my career has reached a rather conclusive end. Is there anything we can do for you? The aged skeleton slowly shakes his head. Even as he does, wisps of hair drift down from his head. I'm afraid not, sir. It was my job here that was holding my old bones together. Now it seems that you have no more need of me. Walter, that's not true. We will always have need for you. Alas, it seems my retirement is at hand. Walter attempts to straighten himself up, brushing the last fast accumulated dust off his shoulders. With a crunching sound, his arm disconnects, falling to the floor with a muffled thump. He sighs, then turns to Beelzebub. My lady, whatever my assignment task might have been, serving you has been the greatest pleasure I have ever known. If you will be willing, might you assign me a final task before I rest? Beelzebub steps forwards, embracing the brown-down skeleton in her arms. Holding him securely, she nestles the warm skull in the crook of her shoulder. Of course I can. Walter, you have done your task better than any butler ever has. Please, go in peace. Walter's voice is barely audible, no more than a whisper. Why, of course, my lady. Your wish is my command. The old skeleton collapses in on himself. All bones petrified by untold millennia of service crumble to dust. A sigh, almost of relief, stirs the ashy pile at your feet. Walter's voice, faint and fading fast, whispered to no one in particular. Ah, my job is done. And what a job it was. From the pile of dust remains a small glittering of gold wings out of you. Kneeling, you gently feel around in the pile. Your hand closes around a small rounded object. Standing again, you dust it off. A small golden key shines in the palm of your hand. That's what Lucifer meant when she said that the key will make itself known to you. I didn't expect to be so literal. You extend your arm to Beelzebub, offering her the key. No, I'm not ready to go out there, not yet anyways. I'm not sure how I feel about Lucy. Besides, someone got to take care of his remains. Would you like me to stay with you? I know how time works here now. It wouldn't be any trouble. Beelzebub shook her head. Kind of you to offer, but no, I'm fine. I think this is something I need to do on my own. I will depart the abyss when I'm good and ready. With a gesture, the portal cones spring to life in front of Beelzebub. Before you take your leave, you press the golden key into her hand. When you're ready, we will be waiting. Turning, you leave the abyss for what you hope will be the final time. Aww, that was so sweet. It's so sweet, the story. And ladies and gentlemen, that's everything we got for Second Circle so far. It's going to be an amazing game when it comes out, of course. An amazing visual novel, I would say. Hey guys, I just want to say thank you for playing our games. It means a lot for us. To all of us. It's amazing, your game is super amazing. Writing by Owen Nagler, Morgan Day. Amazing to the studios. CGI and sprite, well done by the marvelous Dan O'Hara. Character animation created by Bodek C and Late Rico, well done. Programming was done by Remate. Inspiration for Spike was provided by Kiyo Vero, Tim Suela, and Rue. Inspiration for some scenes were provided by Amadeus Films. Most music was created in Misties on YouTube, although there was royalty-free music, so yeah, I know. Sound effects were purchased from Audio Jungle, well done. The title screen art was created by Let's Reads Cone, or Late Rico on Twitter. Various backgrounds were commissioned and created by Funjo no Kawa and Ko Wandiaro, well done you too. Placeholder backgrounds were created and compiled by Mingley or DL site, awesome. All background music tracks and some sound effects are used subject to change. Yeah, I know. Once again, thank you guys for playing the game and be sure to leave us feedback on how we did with this demo. God damn it, you did amazing! I will totally play full price for a game of this caliber. It's just amazing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is all the time I have for today. This game is awesome. Go play it. Go and play it. You must do that. Because it's great. It's super interesting and super wholesome. Well, this is all the time I have for today. Thank you very much everybody for watching and for accompanying me in this adventure. I will see you next time on the Lost Chevalier channel. Bye bye!